Hi everyone, it's Purple Jan here, Tales from a Broken Brain. Welcome to my channel. My project today that I thought I'd invite you along to have a look at, although I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, is to repair the cat tower. As you can see, it's been very well loved and is in a complete mess. My little cat sadly passed away a few weeks ago, but you can't get this particular one again. It's sprung loaded, so it fits between the floor and the ceiling, and it's got little shelves that they can sit on and scratching posts, and it's a nice one. And the company that I bought it from is out of business now, so I was going to try and repair it, so if in the future I get another cat, I won't be thinking, oh, I wish I'd still got Molly's cat tower. So I've got a brand new staple gun because my last one fell apart. It was a cheap plastic one, absolutely fell apart. I have no idea because this seems to be cardboard, so I don't know if that's going to hold it. I've also got a hot glue gun which I've not used before, so I better put it on to heat up now. And I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along. I just thought I'd have a go, see if I can fix it. I've got some rope here. It's not the same type as is on already, but let's see what we can do. Right now I'm just trying to get the staples out of this box that the... Oh look, it's almost an unboxing. It's a Stanley Fat Max stapler, and it holds all the different types of... I can't even see on the camera what I'm showing you at the moment. It uses all different types of staples, and there's a selection of different staples, and goodness only knows how this works. I've got to work this out now. Oh dear. Putting the old broken brain to good use today. It's got adjustments on the side which presumably tell you which... Oh dear, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, we're not going to get much done today if I can't even open the stapler, are we? Oh, it might be a good time to go off and make yourself a cup of tea. I've just had mine, so it's no good me doing that. Are there any instructions on how to do it? That's a big fat no. No, there doesn't seem to be any help there at all. It's got to be so simple to open this up to. Oh, that's done something. I don't know what. There's a big knob there. I don't know what I've just done, but I've done something. But I can't even open it. This has got to be so simple. Oh dear. Broken brain strikes again. There's a levery thing there that obviously does something. Presumably where it goes from grey to yellow, I'm assuming like on a Dyson Hoover, where it changes colour it does something, but it doesn't appear to. It's very possible that you just need stronger fingers than I've got. Oh, hang on. That's... Aha! Right, so it was a case of squeezing those two bits together and then pulling it out. So now I'm going to use the rounded, I don't know if you can see that, it's the oval one, presumably for cables, but I think they've given me two lots. Oh, they are both the same size. I was looking to see if they were different sizes. They don't appear to be. So, oh, I don't know how that works. Just thinking that it's the open end has got to be towards me, but Right, that seems to be in now. And now I've got to put it onto the type of staple that I'm using, which is an ovally one, but I just don't have enough strength in my hands to do a lot of this stuff. I think that's it. Let's experiment and see. Oh no, I don't really want to staple it if it's the wrong thing, and then I'll never be able to get it off again. Right, this old what do you call it, rope, I just used to tie the ends on where she scratched, where she, being Molly, my little white cat, she used to scratch it to pieces. That was her morning ritual. This was in my room next to the window, and the window looks out over the hedgerow and the oak trees, and she used to jump up on the little shelf in the morning, had a little platform shelf, and she'd jump up on that and then give these bits a really good scratch, and then she'd settle down on the shelf and look out of the window and watch the birds and the squirrels and just watch the world go by. So now I'm just trying to undo this old stuff so that we can try and so that I can try and replace it with some of the better rope. But where I've knotted it and it's so frayed, it's kind of all stuck together. Oh, I should have sat down to do this. I'm not actually feeling that good today. We went out on Sunday, had the most marvellous day. We went to the Enchanted Fair, which I didn't really know what it was all about before we went, but it turned out to be kind of semi-pagan, semi-steampunk, and got Neil and I really interested in the whole steampunk scene. Oh look, that bit's completely off. I think that's my rubbish end of the table. Excuse any of the mess you see in the rest of the room. What happens is I put off doing the housework so I can get on with my projects, and then I put off doing my projects so I can get on with the housework, and the long and the short of it is I don't get anything done. I am procrastinator par excellence. Well, there's loads of short bits here. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know if it was actually made originally with loads and loads of short bits. I'd assumed it was just one long piece just wrapped around and around. And I've got no idea if this new piece of rope is going to be long enough to do anything with. I suppose if I was going to say if I had half a brain, I still have half a brain, but I clearly didn't use it, or I would have just done, well, I don't know, how do you measure a spiralling piece of rope around a cardboard tube? I've got no idea how this works. That's another piece that's coming right off. So yeah, we were at this that's another piece that's come right off, at the Enchanted Market, and decided, well, just before we left, we were just leaving, and I treated myself to the typical steampunk top hat and goggles, and we've come home and done quite a lot of research on what is steampunk and what do the steampunk people do, and we're quite keen to get very involved. It looks like an awful lot of dressing up in amazing costumes. I'm always up for that, and a bit of silliness, which I'm frankly not very good at silliness. I've always been a bit stuck up like that, and maybe I could just have a better time if I just relaxed and joined in. So that's what I'm planning to do. But what really sold me is there's a video on YouTube of or on Facebook somebody shared of a load of people probably my age or thereabouts riding a carousel in amazing Victorian costume, with the ladies with their long flowing skirts, and they just look so wonderful, and I just can't wait to have a go of that. I've found a pattern for a costume that I'm going to make, and then Neil says that Saturday he'll take me to a shop to get some fabric for it. That's a longer piece, I might be able to recycle that piece a little bit. It's making a complete mess before we've got actually got any better. So I think, hold on, need to wipe. I've got that thing where you're constantly dripping brain or cerebral spinal fluid out of your nose, and so I'm constantly having to wipe. Right, so I've got my hot glue gun here, which I've never used before either. I'm not really completely clear on what or how to... Oh, I had glue sticks here. I did have glue sticks. Because I'm thinking if I put some glue on here, plus some staples, then hopefully that should hold it. So let's see. Oh, so you just pump the trigger, I guess, on the glue gun until it starts coming out of the end, until it melts and comes out the end. Where I can feel the heat, so something must be happening. But it's not. Oh, hang on, here we go, spoke too soon. So I'm just doing some zigzaggy bits like that. I should have had something here that I can put this glue gun on, shouldn't I really? Oh dear, I'll just put it on the raggy bits. Right, so we'll take this as tight as we can to the old bit. Oh, it's one of these things I could have done with an extra pair of hands. But when you're working with one good hand and one not so good hand, that's the story of my life really, could do with an extra pair of hands. But Neil, who has always been my trusty extra pair of hands person, is not here today, he's at work. So there's got to be a simple, easy way of doing this, if only I can discover what it is. So I'm just working it round. Trying to push it up and keep it as tight as I can, but it would have probably been quite sensible if I'd watched a YouTube video before I did this of somebody who knows what they're doing it, and then they might have a much better technique than I've got, because I'm, as you can see, very cack-handed. I'm getting myself into a complete muddle and knot with this rope, but I'm determined to keep going. I'm not going to give up yet. Didn't learn to walk over and over and over again by giving up, did I? You have to just keep going sometimes. I think I did too much glue and didn't work fast enough. It appears to be drying a little bit. Perhaps I ought to do a little bit of glue, a little bit of rope. That's probably a better way to go. So that's a little bit of glue, put the rope on straight away. I should probably end up with all my fingers stuck together. A bit more glue. I should have had something here to put on the table, because I use this table for for sewing, so it's not a good idea to get it covered with glue really, is it? And I don't know if this glue will pick off afterwards, having never used it before. But so I think I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing now. Sorry, I'm ignoring the camera, and well, I'll just have to view the film before I upload it. Or Neil's been uploading films for me, hasn't he? Hasn't he? As if you know. Oh, I'm just chatting away. I don't know what I'm doing, don't know who I'm talking to. I just hope that you can see some of what I'm doing here. I'm working this end of the table only because the glue gun's plugged in this end, so, ow, I've just stuck my thumb in the hot glue. Oh god, that's not good. Oh, it rubs off, so if it rubs off my finger, hopefully it will rub off the table if I get any on the table. It's not got a very long lead on the glue gun. I was thinking if I move the glue gun this towards the camera, that might help. I suppose I should have moved the camera towards the glue gun really, shouldn't I? But I don't want to touch the camera if there's any chance. I've got glue all over my hands at the moment. Because the gun has got little bits at the front, so it looks as though it should just stand up like that, but the lead's just pulling it, the electrical cable's just pulling it backwards, so that's not very helpful. At the moment I'm just putting back the rope that came off, and it's hard to tell. I'm holding, this hand is, this hand I'm pointing to it. My left hand is my hand that's affected by the brain damage, and any touch feels like burning to it, which isn't helpful when you might be touching something red hot, because you don't actually know if you're burning yourself or not. And I've got so used to just ignoring the pain that I don't actually know if I'm doing myself any damage or not. Oh, this isn't very clever. Oh dear. Still, oh, it's not working because I've used the whole stick up. Okay, right, so what I want to do is bring the chair round, but the dog's on the floor asleep in the way, so I'm going to bring my stool from the kitchen. Hold on a moment, I will be back in just a second. Oh, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? A lot more sense. Right, so I can sit down to do this. And if I move the, it's on the extension wheel, so I should be able to move the extension wheel towards me if there's any of it left. Any extension bit left. It might be fully extended at the moment. I don't know why Neil's got this one out. It's a horrible one. I don't like it at all, but it's there, it's what's handy, so it's what I'm using. So we need another glue stick, just feeding it into the glue gun, but this one doesn't seem to want to go in, and yet it came with the gun, so it must be the right size. So what on earth is happening here? Oh, I don't understand why this... Oh no, it's going everywhere now. Oh. It's big splodge of it on the table, so I'm going to have to hope that I can just... Some of it on the table, some of it on the rope. Oh, I'm really not doing very well. I'm having one of those days. As I say, we went out on Sunday. Although I took it as easy as I could during the day and tried to not overdo things, rest a lot, even to the extent that we went to one talk and then stayed in the room for the next talk, just so that I didn't have to get up and move about. And the next one was on Victorian arc lighting, which is something that if you'd have said to me that I would be going out to lectures on Victorian arc lighting, I would never have thought it was something that would have interested me. Well, I stayed for the talk because I wanted to sit down, but it was an interesting talk. I think, ow, 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 ow. I don't know if I burned myself then or not. I might have done. I know it's going everywhere. I'm making a complete mess of this. What I should do is every few rounds I should... Ouch. Oh, I'm trying not to swear because it's really hurting. But like I say, I don't know if I'm hurting because I've damaged myself or if I'm hurting because that's part of the brain damage. It's a mystery. Yeah, so I was thinking I ought to do a couple of staples on my way round, shouldn't I? I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this either. So why isn't that going? Oh, it's on plus or minus. Oh, it's some sort of locky thing. You'd never believe that I used to be as sensible as you were, would you? Watch out, folks, you could end up like me as well. It's got plus and minus there and I have no idea why. What would that mean? It's got a lock symbol on the handle there. But there's nothing on the well, there isn't any instructions to say what that could possibly mean. Because there's a little picture on there with lock and unlock, but it doesn't... I don't really understand how you do lock and unlock it. Ah, interesting. You kind of pull the handle, I think. Right, so that's at least got some movement in it, so let's give that a go. But it's not... No, that's not it. I wish Neil was here, he'd know how to work this. Oh, this is ridiculous to be defeated by a stapler. This is totally ridiculous. Right, it says come this way to lock. So that's locked. But it's got plus and minus on there with a thing. I bet you all know exactly how to work this, and you're sitting at home thinking, that stupid woman. But it's only obvious if you know what you're doing, and I really don't. So that comes like that. That's that's not going to do anything with the staples. So that feels like it should then operate the staple. But no matter how hard I push it, I just can't seem to get it to go. That one adjusts it for all the different type of staples. That one opens it up to put the staples in. We've got staples in there. Oh, this is so ridiculous. And it says on the packet there that, on the packet it says you can do cables, and it says you can either lock or unlock, and it's got something circling where the staples come out, but I can't see what that means, and I'm trying really hard not to turn it towards me and press the handle because I don't want to end up firing the staples in my face. I just don't believe that a staple gun can be so complicated that I can't work it. Hang on. The packaging is. I have discovered that there is a paperwork in the packaging which must actually go into greater detail, presumably, of how to work the flipping thing. Right, they're the different, it's a piece of paper showing you the different types of fixings that can be used. So hopefully this one tells you how to operate it. How to operate. Slide fastener mode switch to required position. Push handle all the way down. Staple exits at point A. Well, I don't need a map to show me where point A is. That's pretty obvious on most staplers, isn't it? It's got a high-low power switch, but it doesn't explain to me what the high-low power switch is at the moment. It says for brads stroke pins, place only on the left side. Be sure nail heads are pointing down. What's a brad? A pin presumably is a small nail. Right, brad length, that looks like a, according to their diagram, that looks like a small nail as well. It's suitable for arts and craft hobbies. Well, I would think, and also light fabric upholstery. I'm wondering if it's something to do with actually the way that I've loaded the staples into it. Okay, let's see if we can open it up again. It says that some things are to be only loaded in the left hand side. I must have just loaded them in wrongly, but I don't see how else they go in. The pins go in only on the left hand side, but this isn't a pin. Right, let's have another go now and see if that makes any difference.